California Dogface, Zerene eurydice, right here. These are the males, and these are the females. This is the southern dogface in comparison, Zerene caesonia. Now, in the male dogface gets its name from the outline or profile of a dog's head, a fanciful head, facing outward like a poodle, and here's the lips and the eyes like this. And this is where it gets its name. The female is typically all yellow, like this one, and with some gradations and variations all the way up to this darker form here, which is less common, but most of them are like this. This particular group here, I came out of a batch of reared specimens, was very surprised to see those dark markings, and that's more desired by collectors. But these dark markings are sort of reminiscent of the male markings. Or some people say it might be some kind of hybrid between the California dogface and the southern dogface. Now, the southern dogface males look similar to the males of the California dogface, but they do not have any kind of iridescent sheen as we see on here. The female southern dogface doesn't have the pure yellow form. It's more like the male, so you can see the difference here. Now, the California dogface was first described by Boideval in 1855, and it's now in 1972 it was named the state insect of California, and not only because of its beauty, but because it's only found in California and Baja California, which is part of Mexico, and not found in any other state in in the United States. So this is a unique butterfly to California, and we'll be discussing why, and it has a lot to do with the food plant, the host plant. Now, the range of the southern dogface is much wider. It goes all the way from Southern California across all the southern states all the way to Florida. So we'll be checking out. Now, I'm going to show you the iridescence on the top of these wings, which is phenomenal. I'm going to have to take these outside in the sunshine. Here's a little bit better shot of the angle. Looking from the top, you can see this incredible lavender iridescence. It just floats right above the wings. There we go. Here's a range map from one of my butterfly field books, and you can see the comparison of the range of the California dogface on the left map and the southern dogface on the right map. So you can see clearly that, according to the records, California dogface is exclusively found in California and a little bit of Baja, Mexico. And California dogface is relatively easy to rear in captivity if you have the right conditions. Easier than a lot of butterflies. Of course, you have to have the nectar flowers, and here we have lantana on the left, milkweed on the right, two females. And if the conditions are right, if you're lucky, you'll get the mating taking place right in the cage. Here's a male and female mating on top of the cage. Helps to have some sunshine to stimulate them, and they'll lay eggs if you have the fresh potted host plant in the cage. And here you see they're in very close proximity, the eggs, a little closer than you might find in nature, but that's because they're in captivity. They didn't have much choice to where to lay their eggs. There's two species of Amorpha, which is the host plant, Amorpha californicus and Amorpha fruticosa, which is pictured here, and this is the beautiful bloom that comes out once a year in March. So you might be able to recognize this. Doesn't last very long, the bloom. And finally, the full-grown caterpillar in its last instar. There's a banded version, which is shown here, and there's a smooth form, which has no bands. But they're very beautiful, and they camouflage quite well against the Amorpha. Now, the larva will hang like a swallowtail larva on the left here with a bridle around the waist, and then the chrysalid will appear on the right. It's quite nice. And a couple of years ago I had a big project where I raised a lot of these into captivity, and you can see I have the pupas. I clipped them out, set them up on a piece of foam with insect pins so they could emerge properly. But enough of this talk. It's time to get out on the road. First encounter with the host plant is at 3,100 feet on the way up to the habitat in the San Bernardino Mountains. And here you see it here. This is Amorpha californica. The Amorpha fruticosa, which is the other species, grows in the lower elevations, like 1,000 feet. This particular spot has a lot of California buckwheat, and I'm curious to see if dogfaces will nectar on this buckwheat. I've never actually seen them nectar on buckwheat. And what have we here? There's a male dogface nectaring on the buckwheat, so that answers my question there. And here's a beautiful sight. A tarantula hawk, a male tarantula hawk. Gorgeous. But it's time to move on to the deep, dark forest. Surrounded by host plant on both sides of this road. It's everywhere. Amorpha californica. So this is dogface territory. Gotta find some sunlight, some kind of clearing. I know I'm gonna find some dogface. There's something up ahead here. There's flowers on the right side, some sunlight. This is it. There's some dogface flying right here. Here's a male. Don't know what this flower is. See if we can close in on this. Where is he? Where is he? Come on. Show yourself. There he is. There he is. Somewhere in there. Somewhere in there. There he is, right there. Male dogface. Okay, this one's pretty tattered. See how close we can get. Wish I knew what that flower was. I haven't figured it out yet. Here's a female. Wow. Look how well camouflaged that female is in the shadows of these green shadows. That is uncanny. Wow. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning here, and I found a big clearing where there's the host plant. The sun shining down. This is a perfect spot. Here's a female. She's ovipositing right on the leaves there. Wow, this is the first time I've ever caught this on a film. Notice how she just stopping and laying, looks like laying one egg at a time, about a half a second, and then flying off. Whereas in captivity, they lay their eggs real close together because they don't have much choice, and so they keep laying on the same spot. Wow, there's several females here flying around. This is beautiful. This is a perfect spot. It's fantastic. There she goes again. Wow, this is a paradise for Dogface. Now I'm going to pull off the twig where she laid the egg and try to get up close. Take a look at this egg here. And there it is. There's two of them there. You'll see they're spindle-shaped, pale yellow in color. Beautiful scenery up here. Big Bear Lake is right over those mountains in the distance. But it's time to move on. We're gonna go to another habitat. So we're going down in this valley, and we'll arrive at another spot. Now here's a flower that is all over San Bernardino Mountains. You see a female Dogface in the background there. She's nectaring on this flower. I don't know what it is though. This flower is a fantastic flower for Dogface. They love it, especially the females. And this is where you can catch the females. So they don't come to mud. They don't come to water. So whatever this is, it's also good for Papilio bear dye. And here's another nectar flower for the Dogface. This is a very aromatic kind of minty flower. It grows low to the ground. It is a very aromatic smell like mint. And they also come to this flower, as does the fritillaries up here. Here's another view of it. And here's some more Amorpha californica. This is a big grove of it right here. I'll try to get up close. Amorpha has kind of a smell to it too, a very musky smell. I don't see any dog faces, but they do hang out here. Here's a close-up shot of it. So learn to recognize this plant. This is the host plant for the Dogface. And if you search carefully, you'll find ova and larva on here. And here's the holy grail of Dogface hunting, a wet spot. This is a permanent wet spot. The water is going over this dirt road. It's seeping out of the ground. The sun hasn't hit it yet, but as soon as the sun comes out, the Dogface will start gathering here. This is mid-July, elevation about 5,200 feet in San Bernardino Mountains. And what you're about to see is amazing. It's about 12 noon. The sun is shining straight down. There's no wind. And we have mud. That's the conditions needed. So here we have the male Dogfaces sipping the nutrients from the mud. The females don't come to the mud. Don't know why. Now, if you watch, you can see the purple flash when they fly by and catch the sun just at the right moment. Then you have that purple iridescence shows. It's just absolutely gorgeous. This wet spot is just the most fantastic thing I've ever seen for dog faces. I mean, there's hundreds of them. You see them flying around after they've been disturbed, but they'll settle back down on the mud if you give them a few minutes. It just doesn't get any better than this. Hey, wait a minute. Who is this guy? Trying to get in on my movie. It's me, your host. I'm seeing how many I can catch in one net full. Wow. About a dozen. Well, it saves time if you want to collect a lot of butterflies. Instead of catching them one by one and putting them in the kill jar one by one, you can do it this way. But the downside is you have to immobilize them before you can get them in the jar. So I've been pinching them just a little bit here. Here it is, top dog, right there. That's a beautiful thing. That's the male dog face. This is a real fresh one. Now here he is. I've taken him out of the jar, one of them out of the jar, and the wings folded over. This is what happens in the kill jar sometimes. But for the purposes of this movie, it's good because you can see in great detail the beauty of this butterfly. You can see that iridescence there up in the upper wing. You can see the dog's face in the profile. There's the eye. There's the snout of the dog facing left. Well, I've had a fantastic trip up here in the San Bernardino Mountains, and it is certainly awesome, and I know a lot of collectors would like to collect dog face, so I hope you enjoy this film, and maybe you can get out here to California and collect some of our California's gold, as they call it. Alright, we'll see you next time. Please enjoy the rest of the film and some nice music for meditation.